Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to revisit our once trusty old pal, the Ronson Whirlwind Imperial, that we had a few videos on, I don't know, year and a half, something like that ago. This was one of the lighters that was in a big group of Ronson and Evans that I had bought about the time I moved into my current location. It was a brand new old stock, in the box, condition lighter when I received it. And when I pulled it out of the box, literally, and seems like I pulled it out with my left hand and set it into my right hand, and as my thumb grazed that back spine of the lighter, the leather cracked on it. You can see it's marked Ronson, made in Canada, Whirlwind Imperial. This is a lighter that I was very excited to get at the time because I had that Japanese made lighter with the twist bottom, and Daniel Nieves had told me that it reminded him of the Imperial Whirlwind, or Whirlwind Imperial, whichever way you say it, which I at the time had no experience with. This lighter, for the majority of the time that I have had it and used it, had either Ronson Redskin or regular old cheap eBay bought Flint. At times it seemed to work okay, but I was convinced that the straight Flint tube was indeed an error in design. The misfire that you just saw there, I believe, will be the only misfire that happens in this video out of every time that I pull it with the current Flint in it. That caveat should be noted. The mechanism is the newer type Ronson mechanism, which works on the same type mechanics. If you're familiar with how the old one worked, then you can figure this one out. It does line up a little different. Still, it seems very strong. I think this mechanism seems stronger than the old standard and Whirlwind type mechanism. After putting the blue Dunhill Flint in the K-Row lighter a couple of weeks ago and getting the comment below that video from Oliver Taylor about how he believed that those Dunhill Flints were so good that they actually made his Ronson lighters functional, made me think when I saw this one sitting over there today, why not? You can see underneath that felt pad, you've got the original wick still in this lighter. I say it's the original wick. I can't actually remember that now. That looks like the original wick. It seems as though maybe I re-wicked this at some point. I'll have to go back and look. It definitely has a Ronson, look like an original Ronson type wick. So at least if it has been re-wicked, it was with the Ronson type that originally came in it. Whether that's a good thing or not, I can't tell you. But we get that felt back down, and we'll get it closed back up. And like I was saying, I had thought a lot about these Dunhill Blue Flint after the conversation I had with Oliver Taylor in the comments of that K-Row lighter video, and decided to go ahead and put one in here. And I'm going to tell you, it made a world of difference. Here in a moment, we're going to switch it out and you'll see for yourself. When I got this lighter, as I said, I pulled it out of the box, sat it in my hand, and that back part of the leather where it connected cracked off. So at that point, I kind of felt like it was a project lighter, one I should use, one whose value was really detracted from by the fact that that leather had cracked. And this leather's so brittle. I don't think there's anything I could have done at that point to save it. I think whatever should have been done to save this leather or to keep it moisturized or whatever you do should have been long before I received it. But I'm no expert on it. I would be open to any constructive criticism or advice, whatever you can come up with. At this point, I'm just basically going to peel that off as I'm tired of it coming off in my hands. And with this Dunhill blue flint in it, it works so well that I am going to put this lighter in my pocket again and start using it as my daily carry lighter. I had put the 1940s Park lighter on the shelf a few weeks ago and had been using a Cygnus. See, it has the convertible windscreen, which makes that very nice. Now we're going to pull this blue Dunhill flint out, and I'm going to drop, I have two different flints here that you're going to see. There is one that is short that was in it when I picked the lighter up earlier today, and it was sparking very weakly with it. So I put another one in it and got it grooved and sparking pretty quick, and it looked like it might be doing better with that longer flint. So I didn't know for sure if it might be the difference in the flint or maybe the length of the flint, but you'll see even with the longer one in here, which I believe looks a little bit longer than the Dunhill flint, it does not spark near as good as the Dunhill. There are going to be several misfires here, and I got it too tight first of all. I should have grooved it before I tightened everything down. That's a lesson, lighter lesson 101. Groove it before you tighten it all the way down. So you could see earlier with the Dunhill how quickly it started providing plenty of spark and lighting, where with this one it takes a minute to get it going, and then like I said, it's sparking better than it did with the little short cheap flint in it before, but not a lighter that I would want to depend on. I would say it was 50-50 at best, and probably more like 30-70. There's part of me every time I do something like that, this is not some kind of scientific study or controlled experiment. These are just my observations. But you'll be able to see here with your own eyes, just as I have observed and am reporting to you, that with this flint in there, the lighter was nowhere near as reliable. One misfire in the entire video with the blue flint. We have this cheap eBay gold flint in there for, I don't know, maybe a minute of video time, and we end up having several misfires with it. We get the cheap eBay flint out, drop our fine Dunhill blue flint in. I, for one, will be making it a priority to have these on hand, simply because I don't know if they work better with certain file wheels or certain pressure, or if it's the space that produces the spark. I don't know what the variables are that makes this one better, but this is obviously a better product in some of these lighters than those cheap flints. Look at it. Fires right back up. Drop back down in there. Right back into the same groove. So it's sort of like that Bill Burr comedy shtick where he's talking about if you're going to kill someone or kill something with a .22, that you need to be throwing a jab with the gun at the same time you do it. The point is, you need all the force you can get, but that's not the case with this one. With this lighter, you can simply depress the button. With the Dunhill flint installed in that straight tube, you can hit the button and it is going to light. First time, every time, just like Ronson advertised. Until next time.